We're back! We're back on the M3! That's what you guys want to see, right? Today we're going for some chassis upgrades, making the car feel a bit more tight. Tight. My friends over at Powerflex were kind enough to sponsor the video. I love all their stuff and the quality thereof, so looking forward to get these parts installed. So let's get this bad boy out of here and let's get started! And there we are, car's back in the garage again. So when installing these way firmer bushings, it should provide for way less body roll. That's because the material of the new ones is way stiffer than the original bushings. I'll put all the part numbers in the description below, and note that the bushings for an M3 are of a different size than an M3 competition. Competition, baby. So let's get this puppy in the air and let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start out by replacing the front sway bar bushings. To get to the front sway bar bushings, we would first need to remove the skid plate. And then these two plastic covers. So we're first going to remove the 8mm bolts, then the 16mm bolts, revealing the front sway bar. So as you know, we're going to replace these bushes for the upgraded ones. So now let's quickly remove these plastic panels to create some more space. With an 8mm socket. So let me show you something interesting about this sway bar. Wait. Alright, that's better. Alright, so let me tell you something interesting about this sway bar. The regular F80 M3 has smaller sized sway bars than the competition package. So these measure around 28.5mm. Whereas the the regular M3 has a sway bar with a diameter of 25mm. And yes, that's an interesting fact. Alright, enough with the babbling, so let's go ahead and replace these bushings. So with the 13mm, we're going to remove these nuts.
These nuts?
Ooh, and there it goes. So as you can see, the sway bar is now loose from the subframe, so we're now going to remove these bushings. Let me get some silicone spray. That's better. Let's take it down to this more narrow part of the sway bar. As you can see, there's a little tab over here holding the bushing down in the sway bar support. You know what? Since we're replacing it anyway, we're just gonna break it off. So stick in your screwdriver, leverage, and that's our bushing removed. There we go. Alright, so we're going to give the surface area of the sway bar bushing a bit of a clean. Then we're going to install our Powerflex front sway bar bushing. We're going to lube up the inside and the outside of the bushing with this stuff, as it says so right here. Yeah, glaze her up good. And this is to prevent any squeaking noises later on. So apply generously as I did, spread it out evenly. Oh yeah, that's hot. All right, so that should do it. So now we're gonna pop this on. Get that grease all over there. So then we're gonna pop on the bracket, which I gave a bit of a clean as well. So that's one tab. Let's check the other side. Not yet. And yep. Now this one popped through as well. This is now ready to be bolted back on the car again, but not before doing the other side. There we go. All right, so now it's time to Damn, look at this oil cooler, bro. That's pretty sick. Check out the video. So BMW tells you to renew the nuts. I haven't done so because that would further delay the video, so apologies, but I'm sure it wouldn't really matter. So we're gonna start out over here. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna torque it down. Whoa, what's this? Damn, bro. That's pretty insane, son. Guys, just cop yourself some insane merch, please. All right, so now we're gonna torque them down. And those are the front sway bar bushings installed. Now let's head to the rear of the car. All right, so the rear sway bar bushings are gonna be a bit harder. Officially, you would need to drop the whole subframe. However, we're gonna try and do it without dropping the subframe. So let's see how this goes, and first remove the wheels. Carbon ceramics, baby. All right, so let me show you. We would need to go over there. Those are our rear sway bar bushings. As you can imagine, it's much more accessible when the subframe is dropped, but that's a huge task to do, so we're going to try and see if we can get it done without dropping the subframe. So let's see if we can get it done like so. So the rear sway bar bushings is held down by 2 E12 bolts. My E12 socket doesn't fit in there, so I'm going to use this 10mm socket to try and get them loose. Start out with this one. Ugh. Oh my god, it worked. That's one. Oh. Okay, so that's one. Now this one. Right, and that's two. No. Oh yes. And that's two. All right, so now let's see if we can get this loose. Nope. Oopsie. So what we can do is we can break this bushing as well, like we did with the front bushings, and see if we can get it loose like that. Come up. Okay, no movement. But we're not giving up, of course. Oh, whoa, there it is. Yeah, it's off. Yes, it's off. That's the top bushing removed. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, well, it was a squeeze, but it is possible to do it without dropping the subframe. So there we have the lower part of the bushing, which is still attached to the sway bar. I'm gonna see if I can easily remove this and see why it was so stuck on there in the first place. So let's see why this is so stuck on here. Feels like it's glued on or something. Oh yeah, that's definitely stuck on there. Why would they do this? What stupid design? All right, so I managed to get it done in the end. My hands hurt, but now we're going to install the new sway bar bushings. All right, so off camera, I gave this a bit of a clean, and I also lubed up the bushing. As you can see, there's a bit of a recess here. That slides over the flange over there. So we're gonna orient it like so. Okay. Now we're gonna slide it over all the way like so. Now for the hardest part is to get this bracket over there. This thing is symmetrical, so don't worry about the orientation. Come on. I'm gonna need two hands for this. I'm sorry if you're not able to see. You know what? We're gonna slide this back, then we're gonna put it on here, and then we're gonna slide the whole assembly as one part back in its position. Yep, that works. Thank God, that works. All right. There we go. Effortless is what I wouldn't call this. Now for the bolts to go back in. All right, so both bolts are in. Okay, well, this is gonna take a while, so off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and screw them down. All right, so I've tightened the bolts down. Now we're going to torque them to spec. All right, well, the torque wrench doesn't fit, so we're gonna torque it down by hand. Click. All right, that's 28 Newton meters. Click. And that's 28 Newton meters as well. Good. Well, the other side appears to be a nightmare. Allow me to explain. So as you can see, I removed the inner wheel arch, and as you can see, the fuel filler pipe over here is completely in the way of getting to the bracket of the rear sway bar bushing on the right side of the car. I'm currently in the process of removing the fuel filler pipe to gain some access to the bracket of the rear sway bar. So, wish me luck. Alright everyone, it's actually another day. Eventually I was able to reach the bolts all the way over there, like that one, but sitting over there at the other side, by just firmly pushing this to the side like so with one hand, and then with the other hand I was able to get in a 10mm socket, and then I was able to undo it. So not gonna lie, it's a huge hassle, but now that the bolts are loose, I'm able to get it out there and replace it with the Powerflex bushing.
Alright, voiceover time. As you can see, it's very hard getting the bracket out, but I eventually managed to do so. Then I was also finally able to remove the original rubber bushing. What really helps here is loosening the anti-roll bar by disconnecting it from the sway bar link. This provides for a lot more movement to get the new bushing and bracket on there. Eventually the rear sway bar bushings were installed, and then it was a matter of putting everything back together. And now let's continue.
Alright, welcome back to the front of the car. So now we're going to do the front control arm bushings. So we're going to remove the wheels and let's get to the control arms. Alright, so next up we're going to remove these panels. Alright, so here we have our control arm. That's the arm of which we're going to replace the bushings, which are located over there. As you can see, the bolt which we are going to remove over there is a rather long one. And as you can see, this auxiliary radiator is a bit in the way. Well, not a bit, completely in the way. So we're first going to remove this bracket over there to see if we can get some clearance. So as you can see, we have a lot more room to work with now. All right, no luck, so we're going to remove the inner fender as well. So now we're going to remove this bolt. So with a zip tie, we're going to hang it up like so. Some double zip tie action going on, but now we have full access to the bolts. Alright, so with the T55 and the breaker bar, we're going to bust this bolt loose. No. Oh, there we go. Oh, yes. There it goes. And that's our bolt removed. So let's continue. So next up, we're going to bust open that 21mm nut. There we go. All right, so let's see if we can get this control arm out. I'm firstly going to screw back on this nut partially so that we can hammer it out. Ow. Okay, that's that. And now, yep, and there it is. There we go. That's our control arm removed. Alright, so now it's time to remove the old bushing. Unfortunately, I don't have a press, so we're going to do it on a bit more unorthodox manner. And we're going to drill a hole in here, and then with a saw we're going to cut out the whole rubber like so. And then we're going to chisel out this old ring from the control arm bushing. So first we're going to drill a hole. As I said, it's not the most orthodox way of doing it, but yeah, we'll eventually get it done. Oh yeah, there we go. All right. So now we're all the way through. So now let's simply press it out. All right, let's go. Oh, there it goes. Yep. So as you can see, it's gone all the way through. Good. So that's the inner part of the bush removed. So now we would only need to remove this ring. We're gonna do that by chiseling it away. As you can see, it's starting to bend inwards. There we go. That's the ring loose, as you can see. Come out, baby. There we go. All right, so there we go. That's the old bushing removed. All right, so now we're going to do the install of the bushings. We're gonna start with these bad boys. I obviously gave this surface a bit of a clean. Now we're gonna press these in. To avoid scratching these pretty surfaces, I'm gonna use a block of wood. Two, actually. Now time to press this in. All right, well, you get the drill. I'm gonna finish this off camera and show you the results. All right, and there we have it. As you can see, it's now completely flush with the control arm. So yeah, that's the first step done. All right, so the next step would be to push in the polyurethane bushing. So with this set of tools, we're going to squeeze in the bushings in the control arms. So we're gonna grab... Oh, damn, son. What's this? Bro. Then we're first gonna fit the steel sleeve in the bush with the provided grease. Spread it around. Press this in. Yep, there we go. Then we're gonna take this one, as this perfectly fits like so. Fit in our control arm. Use some dishwasher soap for lubrication. Get correct sizes of cups. Get this thing all the way through. And start wrenching. Oops. Did you see that? And let's see where we are. Why is it not coming out? Oh, never mind. There we go. All right, so there we have it. Eventually it popped in place by itself, and I pressed in the sleeve so that it is flush now, as you can see. So this is now ready to go in the car. All right, so as you can see off camera, I also did the other one. So we're gonna start out with the one on the left. All right, so the manual states to also smear some grease on here. And of course on the other side. Then we're gonna give the surface area of the bushings a bit of a clean. Then we're gonna fit in the arm. And the manual also says to put in these washers. So like this, we're gonna squeeze it in. Quickly get this bolt, yeah, that's it. And then for the other washer, yes, come on, yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh yes, okay, now let's get this one through. Oh, I think we have it actually. Do we? We most certainly do. Let's go. Oh, no way. This is the right control arm. I'm joking, bro, I'm joking. And now we would need to get this end back in here. That's clean as a whistle again. So let's help this end get through by screwing on the nut. Yeah, there we go. All right, so to get this nut all the way to the end, we would need a wrench and a T30. All right, I'm gonna do this off camera as this may take a while. All right, so as you can see, the control arm is now almost tightened down. As you also can see, I have put in a press to keep the control arm in the swivel bearing. And that's the only way of torquing it down to 175 Newton meters, as otherwise this end is slipping in here. Hence why I've pressed it together now. So now we're going to torque it down. There we go. Yeah, that's not going anywhere. That is on there for good. Then we're going to torque this bad boy to spec. First 100 Newton meters, and then an additional 90 degrees. And that's torque down, baby. With the original bushings, you would need to have the car at ride height, but with these bushings, you can just torque them down when the car is in the air. It's a lot easier to install. All right, so those are the control arms reinstalled. Now we're gonna put everything back together and see how it drives. So how does it drive? So currently it's 2 degrees Celsius and my tires are super cold as well, so the circumstances aren't ideal. That said, I definitely notice a sharper turn in. It's really cool. No additional vibrations, no noises. The car drives as straight as an arrow, so really good. What's my saying again? Improving the car whilst keeping it looking OEM? Yeah, we definitely did that. Again, a massive thanks to Powerflex for providing me with these parts. I'm a big fan of the purple stuff.
Sippin' on some scissor. Sippin' on some scissor.
Well, I mean Powerflex purple stuff. I'm gonna go and enjoy the M3 a bit more on this beautiful day. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time. So today we're gonna do some chassis upgrades. Chassis? Suspension upgrades? So that chassis. So today we're gonna do some chassis upgrades. Chassis or chassis? I'm not sure. So today we're gonna do some chassis upgrades. Chassis or chassis. Ik weet het gewoon echt niet. Chassis. The chassis of the car. So let's first remove. So let's see how this goes and first remove. So let's see how this goes and first remove the wheels. So let's see how this goes and first remove. So let's see how this goes and first remove the wheels. Right. So let's see how this goes and first remove the wheels. So let's see how this goes and first remove the rear. So let's see how this goes and first remove the wheels. Nay! All right, welcome back to the front of the car. So now we're going to do the front control arm bushings. So now we're going to do the front control arm bushings. So let's go ahead and remove the wheels. All right, so welcome to the front of the car. We're now going to do the control arm bushings on the front. We're now going to do the front control arm bushing. All right, so welcome to the front of the car. So now we're going to do the front control arm So now we're going to do the front control arm bushings. So let's go ahead and remove the wheels. All right, so welcome back to the front of the car. So now we're going to do the front control arm bushings. So let's go ahead and remove the wheels. Yes, het ging allemaal niet vanzelf, zeg. So there we are, car's back in the garage. So installing these way firmer bushings provide for way less body roll. Ah, die zon nou, ik kan het gewoon niet aan. Nou, ik doe het gewoon zo uit de zon. Oké, nou, nog één keer.